when the dust settled, of course, Francis Ngannou was down on the canvas, knocked out cold, unconscious.
It's not that satisfying. It is what it is. Honestly, I don't look at it any way. My life don't really change after that type of stuff.
As Anthony Joshua brutally defeated Francis Ngannou, the boxing community started to expose how Joshua delivered the knockout after being on steroids. The bout, which took place on Friday, saw Joshua emerge victorious in the second round, igniting cheers from the crowd with his performance. Right after the bout, Joshua said, "For me, I don't know if I'm coming into my peak. I'm just pushing day by day." Ngannou faced a remarkable blow, having once floored Tyson Fury during his professional debut in October and showcasing brilliance even in a narrow defeat. Nonetheless, Joshua asserted dominance right from the start on Friday. Joshua revealed his fascination with Ngannou's match against Fury. Joshua recalled, "When I saw the fight with him and Fury, I was like, damn, this guy can fight. So I said, I need a piece of that." However, once the bout commenced on Friday, Ngannou found himself spending nearly as much time on the mat as he did standing upright. Joshua said, "He's a great champion, and this doesn't take away anything from his capabilities. He can come back." Francis Ngannou finds himself unable to definitively state whether Anthony Joshua's punch was the most powerful he's ever encountered in his career. The memory of it simply eludes him. Rendered unconscious before even hitting the ground, it was a decisive finish to the bout. Talking about it, Ngannou said, "That was a clean one. In fact, I didn't feel the punch. That's what the knockout is about. I don't feel any pain. That's how I know I was knocked out." After absorbing the crushing blow that led to the knockout, Ngannou remained grounded for a considerable span, yet he persevered, gradually regaining his composure with the aid of oxygen before rising to his feet once more.
Francis, how you're feeling right now, obviously, after that fight with JG?
Sad?
Sad.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Afterward, he issued an apology to his fans, stating, "Sorry guys, I let you all down. It was a bad day in the office." Moments after the defeat sank in, Ngannou acknowledged Joshua's performance with commendation. Throughout the duration of the match, it was Joshua's dominant right hand that consistently troubled Ngannou, leading to all three knockdowns, including the decisive finishing blow, originating from that precise side. Ngannou said, "It was quite special because it stopped me. It did what Tyson Fury couldn't do. It wasn't my day, and he's just way better than me today. It sucks, but it's the game. We all know that. It's the game." Ngannou's defeat marks another setback, leaving him winless at 0-2 in his boxing journey. However, succumbing to Joshua's prowess does little to tarnish his potential in the sport.
MMA world right now. Are you going to go back to MMA, or do you enjoy the boxing world right now?
I think I can still do both. You know, I'm gonna take some time to rest, come back, and make it, because I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing was dangerous to come after the top of the game for my beginning. You know?
Ngannou remains non-committal regarding his future plans, yet he assures that his defeat against Joshua won't deter his boxing ambitions. He said, "As for right now, I think I'm going to go home, get some rest, and process what just happened. This has been a hell of a day since this morning. I'll process it and see what is the next step. But maybe MMA. But you can be sure that I'm not done here in boxing. Absolutely not. I'm not done." Notably, Ngannou's ability to score a knockdown in his fight with Tyson Fury captured the world's attention, generating significant interest in seeing him face other top heavyweight boxers. However, when facing Joshua, Ngannou found himself thoroughly outmatched. And Joshua said, "I told him he shouldn't leave boxing. He can do well. He's 2 fights in, and he's fought the best. He can go a long way if he stays dedicated, but it's up to him." Now, let's see how stars from boxing and MMA reacted to Anthony Joshua's terrifying KO of Francis Ngannou. So, Jake Paul took to Twitter to express his thoughts on the bout. He commended Francis Ngannou, recognizing him as one of the greatest fighters of all time, while simultaneously lauding Anthony Joshua for his triumphant return to form. He tweeted, "Francis Ngannou is one of the greatest fighters of all time. Respect due. Anthony Joshua is back. Activity and focus drives dominance." Ryan Garcia, another prominent figure in the boxing world, issued a stark warning to MMA fighters considering a foray into boxing. He commented on the mismatch between the sports, arguing that MMA fighters face significant disadvantages when stepping into a boxing ring. Ryan Garcia tweeted, "Let this be a big warning to MMA fighters. Stop coming to boxing. It will only get worse. It is more even if we just go to your sport. Over. One punch. Sending healing prayers to Francis. Your bravery and guts should be commendable. Congratulations, Anthony Joshua." Jamel Herring, a respected boxer in his own right, focused on the reaction of MMA fans to the fight. He suggested that those who had been overly confident in Ngannou's chances should reassess their views, especially in light of the outcome of the previous Fury-Ngannou fight. He tweeted, "You all check up on those MMA fans who were talking to us crazy after the Fury and Ngannou fight. Glad Ngannou is okay UK, though, Demetrius Johnson, an MMA legend known for his analytical approach to fighting, succinctly summed up the event with a reaction that many shared. He tweeted, "Holy shit, that was nasty." Johnson's response underscores the visceral impact of Joshua's knockout punch, a moment that left both fans and fighters in awe of the raw power and skill displayed in the ring. Reacting to Joshua's social media post after the fight, UFC star McGregor commented, "Nah man, madness." On the other hand, commenting on Joshua's victory, Tyson Fury said,
"What did you make of Joshua's performance tonight?"
Absolutely fantastic. It was a fantastic knockout, and I almost got it right. I predicted 1 round, and he got it in 2, so it was what it was.
You said the other day that we didn't know anything about Ngannou. We were going off everything from your performance, but we didn't still know a lot about him. But it was a bit of a rude awakening for him tonight in there.
It was a rude awakening for Ngannou, but listen, you get a bit cocky like he did, and it was what it was. It was what it was.
In another interview, Tyson Fury told DAZN, "I'm sure Alexander Usyk will have something to say about that. I had a performance against Ngannou. AJ did absolutely fantastic and lit him up with a right hand." Fury continued to explain that he needs to beat Usyk twice before fighting Joshua, adding, "If he fights me after I beat Usyk twice, then it will be a different game." Interestingly, amidst the electrifying atmosphere, Joshua directed a provocative gesture towards his next desired opponent, Tyson Fury, who watched from the front row of the Kingdom Arena, setting the stage for a potential future clash. Speaking in the ring after the win, Joshua said, "If that was me losing, you'd be saying Joshua should retire. I don't know if I'm at my peak. I'm pushing day by day. Who knows where it will take me? In 5 years, I won't be fighting anymore. This will be a distant memory. I just want to fight." Yes, the winner of Fury versus Alexander Usyk. On Friday, the unbeaten Tyson Fury said of a potential fight with Joshua, "There's quite a long way to go. There's always been a lot of getting in the way of it. I've got bigger fish to fry. The 18th of May, then we have a rematch in October." Fury acknowledged the complications and obstacles that have historically impeded the fruition of this high-profile matchup, hinting at the intricate politics and negotiations that often characterize boxing at this level. He added, "After that, if he's still available and I'm available, let's get it on." Yes, it goes both ways. He can do what he wants. Whoever he fights, he can't wait a year. Inactivity is no good. After I beat Usyk, the IBF title will be vacant, so maybe he can fight Filip Hrgović. In another interview, Joshua called out Fury.
Did you catch a glance at him today, sitting there ringside?
Tyson Fury.
Eddie Hearn, the promoter for Joshua, confidently asserted that the British fighter reigns as the premier heavyweight on the global stage. Hearn said, "If we won this fight, then he would fight the winner of Fury Usyk. You're looking at the #1 heavyweight in the world. Tyson Fury, please beat Usyk, because you will get the biggest fight in the history of the sport." As a fighter, he's an inspiration to young people. The promoter's bold proclamation that Joshua would face the winner of the much-anticipated Fury versus Usyk fight underscores the high ambitions he has for his fighter. Hearn's vision extends beyond mere victories. He is eyeing legacy-defining bouts that could cement Joshua's place in boxing history. Hearn added, "What I said would happen, happened. He destroyed Francis Ngannou. He's a beast, and I cannot wait for him to beat Tyson Fury." Hearn's rhetoric following the Ngannou fight reflects his promotional flair and strategic thinking. By declaring Joshua the #1 heavyweight in the world and expressing eagerness for a showdown with Fury, Hearn is not just building hype. He's laying the groundwork for future negotiations and public demand.
Doing a job on Francis Ngannou, making that statement, but also the promises of His Excellency that basically said the winner of Fury Ngannou will go on to fight, AJ Ngannou will go on to fight the winner of Fury Usyk.
Now, as I mentioned before, while Joshua had a remarkable victory against Ngannou, there are some rumors about Joshua being on steroids. Social media is buzzing with such claims. When a high-profile athlete like Anthony Joshua achieves significant success or demonstrates exceptional physical condition, it's not uncommon for rumors and speculation about PEDs to surface. For instance, a fan tweeted, "And yet we're meant to believe this man never took a steroid or lifted a weight until like 2020 and got this was just from working in the sand mines." Another tweeted, "Drug test Anthony Joshua. That man is not moving like a heavyweight. Too fast." This fan tweeted, "Anthony Joshua is on steroids. Not a fair fight. Drug test him." As you can see, fans are accusing Joshua of steroid use, deeming his fight unfair. However, this is not the first time Joshua has been accused of using steroids. Joseph Parker has previously accused Joshua of steroid use. During a lively discussion on Radio Sports Breakfast, the Kiwi fighter said, "They call me the king of the pies, but I call him the king of steroids." Who knows? If you are that big and that muscly, there's something wrong. I have heard the word, I have looked at him, and I have seen. Parker's remarks highlight a common suspicion in the world of sports, especially in physically demanding categories like boxing, where athletes' physiques and performances are closely scrutinized. While he suggests the possibility of steroid use due to Joshua's physique and his association with Vladimir Klitschko, a respected figure in the sport with a well-known rigorous training regimen, he also clarifies that he is not directly accusing Joshua of taking steroids. Parker added, "He has been very close with Klitschko. He has been a reigning world champion for a long time. So I don't know. It may be true, maybe not. I don't know how he will respond. He may be angry or upset at what we have been saying. It's part of the game. I am not accusing him of taking steroids, but I am saying it is a possibility. There are a lot of ways you can dodge drug testing. Notably, fighters are subject to random drug tests by organizations such as VADA or National Anti-Doping Agencies. These tests are designed to catch athletes who are using banned substances to enhance their performance illegally." Here is what Parker said.
It's one of those, like I said before, it's one of those throwaway lines that you just say. Being criticised for being the king of pies is just one of the things you say without thinking. So,
on the other hand, Anthony Joshua swiftly brushed off Joseph Parker's accusation, labeling him the king of steroids. Joshua rebutted the accusation of indulging in pies, ascribed to him by British TV presenter Graham Norton. He also waved off Parker's claims regarding substance use. Joshua said, "I've heard so much in boxing trash talk that nothing's new anymore. Can I sue him?" Joshua is indicating that he's heard similar accusations before and does not find them worth responding to aggressively. His mention of potentially suing Parker suggests he sees the accusations as not only baseless, but also potentially damaging to his reputation. Joshua added, "I know my records are clean. That's why I don't bite at it. It is what it is. If I'm not clean, you'll find out about this fight. If I haven't been clean for all my other fights, you'll see me struggle against Parker because anything I have been taking will be out of my system." Joshua's approach to the allegations reflects a focus on transparency and legality. He asserts his cleanliness in the sport, suggesting that his performance against Parker would be proof of his natural abilities and commitment to fair play. This is a common stance among athletes who are confident in their compliance with doping regulations and who wish to maintain their focus on the sport rather than on controversies. Joshua added, "Trash talk has a place in boxing if it's natural, but you shouldn't use it as a tool to sell the fight. I would never put on an act to sell a fight." While he acknowledges that verbal sparring has its place, he makes it clear that he prefers authenticity over theatrics. His stance is that fights should be sold on the merit of the athlete's skills and records, rather than manufactured drama or unfounded accusations. Joshua further added, "In this sport, your life's on the line. Anything to do with that type of stuff, you have to be careful. People's lives are on the line. It's not like a game of golf." Joshua's response is indicative of a professional athlete who prefers to let his performance in the ring speak for itself, while also standing ready to defend his reputation against unfounded claims. Joshua further added, "It will take more than a human to stop me getting where I'm destined to be. That's why I learned to not walk with sight. I walk with faith in this journey, so in terms of you, using it as a PR stunt, and the rumors you have heard, they are fake news." On the other hand, Gerald Miller has also pointed fingers at Joshua, alleging the use of steroids to sculpt his imposing physique. Miller asserted that even Vladimir Klitschko had expressed concerns over this matter. Meanwhile, Joshua hit back with a reasoned rebuttal, outlining his physical development from golden Olympian to professional champion and adding, "I never stick needles up my ass and I get tested all the time. This is all I do. I know how to knock people out and beat them up. I do the job, I am a good boxer, heavy-handed puncher, and have beaten better opponents than anyone else out there." And when asked why Joshua would risk his legacy by doping, Miller said, "It's like Lance Armstrong. The drug police have a problem because they ban a new drug, but don't tell the athletes and you get caught." Joshua noted the Klitschkos were also accused and said, "So many of us get named, but my strength is in my DNA." Now, coming back to the showdown between Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou, Dr. Brian Sutterer, a physiatrist, shared a video dissecting Joshua's triumph over Ngannou in Riyadh. Brian Sutterer's analysis reveals that Francis Ngannou had already sustained a concussion following 2 knockdowns. It was evident from the Predator's struggle to rise after the initial knockdown, indicating that if given more time, he might not have endured beyond the first round. Moreover, after the second knockdown, Ngannou appeared disoriented and unable to fully recover. Therefore, explaining the situation, Sutterer said, "The final knockout punch was because Ngannou was already essentially concussed. A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury caused by a blow to the head or body that results in rapid movement of the brain inside the skull. This can lead to a variety of symptoms, including confusion, disorientation, and delayed reaction times, as Dr. Sutterer mentioned. In the context of a boxing match, these symptoms can significantly impair a fighter's ability to defend themselves and respond to their opponent's attacks. Sutterer added, "Whenever you have a concussion, one of the symptoms you can display is decreased reaction time." According to Dr. Sutterer's analysis, Ngannou's performance after the initial knockdowns was indicative of a concussion. This would explain his difficulty in getting up and his disorientation, which are classic signs of such an injury. He added, "This is just a purely delayed reaction time from Ngannou being unable to get his left up in time to block that straight punch coming through from Joshua." This medical perspective is important for several reasons. First, it provides a clearer understanding of why the fight unfolded as it did, highlighting the significant risks fighters face every time they step into the ring. Second, it underscores the importance of swift and accurate diagnosis and treatment of concussions to prevent long-term damage. Finally, it serves as a reminder of the need for stringent safety protocols and medical oversight in combat sports to protect the athlete's health and well-being. By the way, Sutterer explained that the mechanical force applied to Ngannou's brain resulted in a massive depolarization, which caused Ngannou to go unconscious. Dr. Sutterer's breakdown not only explains the physiological reasons behind Ngannou's defeat, but also contributes to ongoing discussions about fighter safety and the critical role of medical professionals in sports. On the other hand, Eddie Hearn is firm in his belief that Anthony Joshua reigns supreme as the top heavyweight boxer worldwide at present. Joshua's recent display against Francis Ngannou has only served to reinforce Hearn's confidence in the British fighter's abilities.
Hearn, you said that's the best knockout you've seen live. That was spiteful at his best.
Brutal. That is, I mean, to do that on this stage under that kind of pressure, that's going to every media outlet in the world, every news outlet. That's going viral on social media. The baddest man on the planet, and his name is Anthony Joshua.
When assessing the contrast between the two pugilists, Hearn found no astonishment in witnessing Joshua deliver a markedly decisive outcome. He said, "Fury struggled against Otto Wallen. AJ destroyed him. It was a mismatch. He struggled against Francis Ngannou. AJ destroyed him. It was a mismatch." It's not necessarily about comparing the two, but it's nice. Hearn is keen on witnessing Ngannou's foray into the realm of heavyweight boxing. Despite the outcome of the recent bout being a formidable conclusion, Hearn remains optimistic that Ngannou possesses the potential to secure victories within the confines of the boxing ring. Hearn said, "He can beat a lot of heavyweights, just not Anthony Joshua. Maybe he can beat Tyson Fury, but you can't get knocked out like that too often." And that's just a stark reminder of the difference between elite-level boxing and MMA. As the dust settles on this monumental fight, the conversations it has sparked, from steroid allegations to the nuances of combat sports, reflect the complex and multifaceted nature of professional boxing and MMA. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.